We got number 7 Indiana. They won against Oregon on the road. Like, wow, they really probably shocked a lot of fan bases and analysts over the weekend.
Yeah, including us.
Yep, yep. Just one of those ones we got wrong, but hey, that's football sometimes.
So let's. I want to talk about Indiana real quick, right? Like, th- how have they been able to build a program with the transfer portal and NIL mechanics so fast? Like, most teams, they do it, they're 1 year thing, and then there's a drop off. We are seeing continuous improvement with Indiana.
Mhm.
Why? I mean, I guess I should be asking myself this, but I'll ask you, Aaron. Why were we so wrong about them this year? Why did we? What have they been able to do so well, and why has no one expected this team to be repeating or even improving results from last season?
Mm. I'm gonna point it, to one person in general, the head coach, Kurt Signetti, right? He seems to be a truly data-driven coach for this Indiana team. Like you said, no one could have predicted how well they were going to do last year. They were a team that had a college football playoff appearance, and they only had losses to 2 teams, and both of those teams were in the national championship last year. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty impressive. If I had to
Maybe
say,
that hid the true results. Like, okay, if I'm gonna lose to those two guys, everyone thinks I'm booty, but maybe not.
maybe not, right? Um, you know, Indiana could have easily been seen as just, like you said, that 1 year dark horse last year who had the 1 year shine, and they're going to return back into the depths of Big Ten mediocrity, right? But I think this offseason, Signetti, he took it a step further. He really sought to improve upon his newly rising team, right? With transfer portal players, Fernando Mendoza from Cal, and running back Roman Hemby from Maryland. This team, they really improved on, I guess you could call it, one of their weaknesses or areas to improve upon. They've become the 7th best offense in total yards this year, averaging about 502 yards a game. Compared to last season, where they were ranked 34 in the nation, averaging only about 426.4 yards per game. So immediately they saw the weakness. They saw, where they needed to improve upon because the
Mm-hmm.
defense is there. I think they were ranked a number 2 defense in terms
Right,
of
they were pretty
yards
high.
allowed
Yep.
per game.
Mm-hmm.
They're still pretty high this year. Offense is where they needed impacts, and they got these 2 players. So how do these players impact that change? Mendoza, he's been absolutely electric. He's been a super efficient passer, and we see that week in week out. I think he still only has, well, barring what just happened this weekend, he came into the game, I think, 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So absolutely efficient. And then Roman Hemby, he's a transfer from Maryland. He was this weekend's leading rusher, and they really leaned on him heavily in the fourth quarter. I think they were using him to, eat the clock up and wind the clock down as they had the lead.
Yep.
And he finished the game with, again, being the leading rusher and having 2 rushing touchdowns. Um, to me, this just proves, more and more how Saban is the GOAT. All of his proteges just come out of that system, and they continuously have that same grit of being better than just good, right? They're trying to be
Yeah.
the best. They're trying to build dynasties. And it seems like every single, protege has that same mentality, whatever school they go to.